Hello and welcome. Today we'll be looking at the Unit 3 My Community and its Geography, Lesson 11 Map Portfolio. My name is Mrs. C. I'm an ELL teacher here at Florida Connections Academy. A portfolio assignment is an assignment that you complete at home and turn in to your teacher for a grade. Before you begin your portfolio, let's look at the directions together to make sure that you complete it correctly and get the very best grade. On the first page of your lesson, you'll see there's an objective and there's a key word. The objective is what you will do. So in this portfolio, you will give someone directions to a place you know. You will be using a map that you made. The keyword is map. A map is a picture of a place. Let's look at the next page of your lesson. Here is an example. A map helps us get from place to place. Look at this map of a fair. See the orange paths. Each path takes you to a place at the fair. So here are all of the paths, and you can see they can help you get from the carousel, over to the Ferris wheel, over to the circus tent. These paths help you get to different locations on this map. So this is an example of what a map looks like. There can be maps of cities, maps of states, maps of fairs or neighborhoods. For this assignment, you will make a map that begins with your home. So for my map, I decided to make a map of my neighborhood. You could make a map of your city or town. You would just have to do a few things differently than me, and I'll talk about those things when we look at my map example. So on your map, you're going to start with your home. That's what you're going to add first. You're going to give directions to another location on that map. So you might need a path, like a sidewalk, or a road, especially if you're going into town or into a city. Once you give those directions, you're going to stop at a place you choose. So you need to include your home on the map and also another location. Can you have more than one location? Absolutely. It says add another place if you want to keep going and have fun with your map. So before we continue and look at our rubric and take this a little bit further, let's look at how I began my map. Here's an example for you. I started out with my name. I always want to include my name, right? I'm Mrs. C. And I began drawing this map by starting with my home. So right here, this little pink house is my home. I have a road. You need a road or a path, right? It might be a sidewalk, it might be a dirt trail. I have a road next to my home. And then I included a few different locations. And how do we know what those locations are? Something special I included down here called a key. We'll look at that in a moment as well. So here are some of the locations on my map. I have mailboxes, I have some tennis courts, I have a stop sign, and I have a playground. So once you are finished with your map and you've got some different locations added, you're going to need to give directions to your learning coach and tell them how to get to one or more of those locations. So let's go back and let's look at your lesson once more. Let's go to the next page. All right, so now you've made your map. You also have added places to your map and you can find them. And now it's time to think about it a little bit more. How can we make your map better? What can we change or add? So I always like to know what my teacher expects from me when I am finishing an assignment. So I'm going to look at the rubric. Here's the rubric. You can click right here. And you can see exactly what your teacher is looking for you to get the most excellent grade possible. Excellent, number 4, right here. This is the column that we want to stick to. This is the type of grade we want to try to strive for. So excellent means the map shows many places and objects in locations where they would be in real life. The map includes details, including map tools, such as a key, scale, and a compass rose. So when you're thinking about what else you can add to your map, those are 3 examples of things that you can add. Down here, there's another section under comprehension, and it also says the directions given to a place on the map show a strong understanding of how maps work. So first, let's look back at our map and let's talk about those extra features or those extra details that I added. On my map, I have a lot of pictures, right? I've drawn pictures of every place that I'm going to. So I needed to explain to someone reading this map what those mean. So down here, this is my map key. I added smaller pictures of some of the locations I drew. So right here, I've got a teeny house and it says my house. Right here, I've got a little mailbox. It says this is a mailbox. Stop sign, tennis court, and playground. So right here, this is my key. This tells someone using my map what each of the pictures on the map mean. I also added a compass rose. Remember, compass rose shows directions: north, east, south, west. You can actually add directions in between as well if you wanted to. You could add something like northwest or northeast, but that's up to you. This is a simple, common compass rose. It's not very detailed. Up here, I also added a scale. So this map is, of course, not the size of my neighborhood in real life, right? It's much, much smaller. So what I did is I measured a little inch with a ruler, and I said 1 inch equals 500 feet. That means every time you walk on this path or on this map, 1 inch, you're going about 500 feet in real life. That's how much it would really measure. So you can add a scale to your map as well. All right, that last section of our rubric talked about comprehension and understanding, right? Understanding. So your learning coach is going to help you best understand this map using what you've already learned when you are giving directions. So if I were giving directions from my house, I would say, at my house, please follow the street down to the end and then make a left turn until you see the mailboxes. When you see the mailboxes, turn right until you get to the stop sign. If you want to go to the tennis courts, turn left now. There are the tennis courts. Or if you want to visit the playground, turn right now. And there's the playground. So you're going to give directions like that to your learning coach, pretending that they don't know how to get to the place that you've drawn on your map, pretending that you're helping them find their way using a path, a sidewalk, a street. All right, so I want you to get the very best grade possible. So make sure when you draw your map, you start with your home. Make sure you've got one or more locations that you can travel to. Make sure you include extra details like a key, a compass rose, and a scale, and make sure, of course, that you add your name to that map as well. Let's go back to our lesson and just double check that we've done everything that we should. There's that excellent category in the rubric again. Our map showed many places and locations and where they would be in real life. We also used a key to help anyone using our map know what each picture meant. We used a scale to help them know the distance you would be traveling in real life. And we added a compass rose to show those cardinal directions. When we gave directions, we showed a strong understanding of how to get from our home to those other locations. We used words like right and left to talk about the turns you would need to make. And we talked about other things that you might see on the map that would help you find your way. All right, guys, I know that if you do an assignment like this and you turn it into your teacher, you will get an amazing grade. Does it have to be exactly the same as Mrs. C's map? Absolutely not. You might want to go to the store. You might want to go to a beach. You might want to go anywhere local to your area. You don't have to do a neighborhood like I did. Just make sure that you follow those same directions in the rubric and you will do an amazing job. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you have an excellent day. Goodbye.